Hello YouTube, welcome back for another video. Today we are going to go over editing sound on your video. I will touch on adding music, adding sound effects, adjusting volume, over voiceovers, how to find sounds to add to your music video. So let's get right to it. So I have this project laid out over here. In the beginning, right over here, as you can see, we have this lovely lady right here introducing herself and pretty much letting us know what the video is about. And down here, we have some sounds that I've currently added. So for us to get started, I'm just going to mute all the sounds that I've added so you get to hear what the video sounds like. All right, everyone. Now that I have successfully disabled the video, so let's take a listen at the introduction.
Howdy. So my goal for the day is to feed at least 5 to 10 homeless people. I've been thinking about this for a while, how privileged some of us are to be able to self-isolate while having everything we need or we want, really.
All right, so she's just talking right here, and if you guys hover over here, you guys will see this line right here, right above the audio file, and you can see the different waves there. The higher the peak, the louder the sound for that specific section is. You can use Command plus to zoom in so you can have a better look to see what the wave file actually looks like. Another way to get a better view is for you to come right over here on this side. You click on this right over here and you'll have different views for your project. This one is video only. This one shows a little bit of the sound, but mostly video. This one shows a little bit of both. This one shows mostly sound. So if you're gonna work on sound, I would recommend you either use this, which only shows the audio file, or this. Now, I also like to be able to see a picture of where exactly that sound is and what the video looks like at the current frame. So I like to use this, and it also expands the audio large enough for me to see the different wavelengths so I can make my edits a little bit better. Let's say, for example, the volume is too low. One very easy way to increase the volume is to hover over the line with your mouse until you see the arrow up and arrow down. You want to click on it. When you click on it, it will turn the white line yellow, which means that you are ready to make edits. Now you have to click and hold and drag up or down. As you can see, when I drag it down, the audio wave file actually lowers. When you drag it up, that means you're obviously making it louder. And as you can see, the wave symbols right there kind of get a little bit higher. Now, if you are working on any sound on any video and you see the yellow and red lines right there, that means your video is now clipping. That means it's way too loud and it's just not gonna come out right. And there may be some distortion and you need to adjust the volume a bit. So I would lower it to about right here. And let's take a listen. Now, I like my audio to come out around -6 to 0 decibels. Anything above that will be way too loud. Anything under -20 for your main audio sound will be a little bit too low. All right, so let's just take a listen now.
Howdy. So my goal for the day is to feed at least 5 to 10 homeless people. I've been thinking about this for a while, how privileged some of us are to be able to self-isolate.
All right, guys, so as you can see, as the video was playing, I have this little thing on the side that kind of shows me exactly where exactly I am in terms of decibels in the right speaker as well as the left speaker, and we're gonna talk about panning later, sending sound only to the right speaker or the left speaker. But as it plays, you can see that there's a white line that kind of stays stationary as the video is playing. I'm just gonna show you what I'm talking about right here.
Isolate while
it's right
having
here,
everything
and it
we
goes
need,
to -6 right
what we
here.
want, really.
So it looks like the white line is showing me that I'm right at -6 or something, and a little bit above it, a little bit under it. So this means that the loudest words she say in this video does not go over -6 decibels. All right. So that's fairly good. Like I said, that's my sweet spot. If you want to increase it just a little bit, you can. Now I wouldn't go too far. Let's take a listen
I've been
now.
thinking about this for a while, how privileged some of us are to be able to self-isolate while having everything.
All right, so it went a little bit above, but that's not that bad. And that was only in one word. Now, if we're scrolling here, now it went over -6 around right here. Now that's when the wave file right here was a little bit close to the line. Over here, it kind of went over. So now, if it goes over just for like one frame or a quick second, that's okay. And it really depends. So let's take a listen and see what exactly happened in the video as to why it was that loud.
So I'm really excited about my mission.
So all she said was so that, that's not bad. But let's say there was a different sound that was a little bit unpleasant in the video, or maybe it was a background noise or something that is a little bit too high, then you can manually remove that. So let's actually talk about that. One way to lower the volume in one specific section, let's say we want to lower the volume right over here, one way to do that is to cut the frame. So I will cut the frame by holding B on my keyboard and clicking right where my playhead is. Holding down B brings up this tool right here, the blade tool. So you can hold down to switch the tool quickly, and then when you release, then it actually goes back to your select tool or whatever tool you were previously using. Or you can come over here, click on the arrow, and switch your tool. All right. In future videos, we'll definitely talk about these different tools that we have over here. So I've already cut the frame, and I will go past the sound, and I will cut the frame again. So now we've separated the specific section that we'd like to manage the audio into a separate section. And there, because it's separate, we can manually lower or increase the volume. So let's lower that word right there, that's so, real quick, and let's take a listen now.
So I'm really excited about my mission.
So obviously it was not as loud, but you know what? It's not that big of a deal for me. So I'm just gonna undo that by Command Z, and I'm back, and let's take a listen again.
So I'm really excited.
Obviously you can see that the so is much louder. Now another way you can do it, this is the easier way to manually adjust the volume on a specific section. This works on voiceovers, music, audio, any type of audio file really, it will work on. So what I will do is I will option click, and that will create a little bubble on the line for me. So let's take a look. As you can see, I've created this little dot at this specific section. Now I can use this dot to manipulate the audio. In order for this to work, you need to have a beginning and an end point for your audio. So I will create an endpoint by option clicking on my endpoint, which is right next to this. Just like that. Keep in mind, everyone, once you've created the beginning and the end point, if you go right in the middle and try to lower or increase the volume, it will change the volume of the entire line. However, the best way to do this, click away from the audio file, click on the empty space, and then you select only the end or the beginning point, and then you can either increase or lower. So let's take a listen.
So I'm really excited about my mission.
All right. So obviously the volume went dramatically lower right here. Now if I want to bring it back up like right over here while she keeps talking, I can do it just like this by creating another beginning. So I will hold Option key and I will click. Now I've created another start point. I can adjust where I want this start point to start. So I'm gonna click on it right over here, and I'm going to increase the volume right back up to what it was before. I believe it was 0. So let's take a listen.
So I'm really excited about my mission.
So we lowered that volume a little bit, but I want it a little bit louder so that way it flows.
So I'm really excited about my mission.
And there you have it. Now, if you wanted to lower the volume on a specific section or increase the volume in a specific section, all you have to do is, of course, Option click again to create another point. And right after you do that, then you can just select where you want it to end or you want it to start. All right, so let's take a listen. I just made a little section right here.
So I'm really excited about my mission, and
there you have it, folks. So I'm gonna undo this, and then we're gonna switch to adding different effects to your audio sound or music or any type of audio file that you have. So I'm just gonna undo what I've done here. All right. I'm gonna select this, and this is how you edit, let's say your a voiceover or any sound that's within a video. You want to click on the video with the sound, and you want to go over here in your inspector, and you're going to click on this little speaker symbol, which means this is where you go to edit your sound. Now I've had equalization set up. What this does is that it reads your audio file and adjusts the volume and equalize the sound for you manually. I mean, not manually, automatically. However, you can manually add different types of sound effects to your file within the equalization. So you can equalize for voice enhancement, music enhancement. You can equalize for loudness. You can reduce hum. You can boost the bass. You can reduce the bass, add treble, or reduce treble. And you have this match right here. That is, if you like to match the sound to another sound or another section in the video, that's a really good thing. But that's a little bit that's due for like a separate video. So I've had it for voice enhance. So I'm going to replay this, and I'm going to switch the different effects so you get a really good feeling on what each of them do. And again, we're only looking at the equalization right here. So I'm going to Shift Z so I have my full project in front of me. And I am going to push the up arrow to bring the playhead back in the front. And I will press space.
Howdy. So my goal for the day is to feed at least 5 to 10 homeless people. I've been thinking about this for a while.
All right. So as you can see, when I switch to flat immediately remove the equalization. Flat means it's whatever you've had originally in your sound on your video. So I am going to switch from flat to something different. And let's take a listen again.
Howdy. So my goal for the day is to feed at least 5 to 10 homeless people. I've been thinking about this for a while, how privileged some of us are to be able to self-isolate while
check out loudness.
Everything we need or we want, really. So I'm really excited about my...
Loudness is great if you have something that's a little bit too loud. So it's really good to use loudness to equalize your sound for something that's a little bit too loud. Let's keep going and let's keep switching.
Howdy. So my goal for the day is to feed at least 5 to 10 homeless people.
Bass boost is next.
I've been thinking about this for a while, how privileged some of us are to be able to self-isolate while having everything we need.
Bass reduction.
Or we want, really.
We're gonna
so
add
I'm
some
really
more
excited
treble
about
to
my
the voice
mission,
now.
and this makes me really happy, genuinely happy. So
we'll
be driving around safely, hand them food. Howdy.
This is
So my goal for the
reduced
day is to
treble.
feed at least 5 to 10 homeless people.
Now reducing treble is almost the same as boosting the bass, but it's slightly different. So let's really compare the two here.
While having everything we need.
This is boosting the bass, really. But this is removing the treble.
I'm really excited about my mission, and this makes me really happy.
So you really kind of have to play around with your sound to see what really fits well. Voice enhance works amazing if someone is just speaking. If you've pre-recorded your sound on Logic, Garage, or any music production software, or voice recording DAW or anything like that you've used, and you've already adjusted your volume and added your effects, and you've equalized your audio already in a separate application, then you can just leave the equalization unchecked. You can just make sure the volume is at the right level for you when you're editing your video. Final Cut Pro has the ability to analyze your video for loudness, analyze your video to remove noise, to remove the any hum frequency that you may have there, and you can switch between 50 hertz and 60 hertz right here. So let's test that out. And let's test that out in a different session. I'm sure you guys are tired of listening to the same portion of the video. So let's listen to this.
Safely hand them food, water, juice, whatever I can, really, to be able to see a smile on their face. I may or may not keep you updated. I just wanted to throw the word out there.
And there you have it, guys. So pretty much Final Cut Pro will automatically adjust the loudness, remove any noise or any hum that it may be able to find depending on whatever frequency that you set it to. All right, so I'm gonna undo this because I've already worked on my video on the sound. And pan. Now pan is next. Pan really works well if your video is already set for stereo or surround sound. So let's take a listen to this. And we're gonna mess around with panning. Now hopefully this works on your side. So I'm gonna pan my sound to the left and to the right, and you should notice a significant difference as to where the sound is coming from. That only works if you have stereo headphones on or stereo speakers on a computer or on your mobile device. So you may or may not notice the difference depending on where you're watching this video. All right, so let's just take a listen.
Safely hand them food, water, juice, whatever I can, really, to be able to see a smile on their face.
All right, so I'm going to pan everything to the left. I may or may not
keep you updated. I just wanted to
and I'm going to throw
the word out there and see maybe you guys are gonna do.
And just like that, guys, this is how you pan left and right. All right, so you can, if you have specific sound you like to send to the right speaker or the right or the left speaker, you go to stereo left, right, and you can pan. Now, if you are working with an audio with surround sound capabilities, you can click on basic surround and you will have all the surround sound eligibility right here with a dot right in the middle where you can adjust where most of the sound for that specific section of the video is going to come out of. So you have your front speaker, your left, right, and your left and right speakers on the back for surround sound. So I'm going to undo all of this craziness I've done here. I mean, I'm going to lower the sound completely, pretty much muting this. Then I'm going to bring back my music that I have back up. I'm going to right click and I will go and enable. You can also just press V to enable or disable any portion of your project. So let's take a look. So the music started right at the beginning. Now there are a few things that is really essential to understand about sound over your video. And that is, of course, adjusting volume, but two, adding fades. All right, so let's take a look and then we'll discuss it. Now, the music is at negative 18 decibels. I do not want it louder than the actual sound, the voiceover of the video. So I'm gonna bring this back up to 0 and I will explain to you exactly what I mean by that.
Howdy.
See, the music is kind of low on the background. Now, if I increase this, so I'll put it all the way up here. And let's just take a listen.
Howdy.
It does not make sense. Now, 99.9% of the time when you add any music to the background of your video, when you add the sound onto your project, it will most likely be at 0 decibels, which is just like regular. It will be equalized as flat, and it will 99.9% of the time be too loud and it will pretty much overpower the voice in your video. So I like to lower it to about negative 17-ish, negative 15. You can really gauge it. It really depends on the audio file itself, on how loud it was recorded. Things like drums are definitely going to overpower voice more than a string or a piano would. So let's take a listen. Let's see if this sounds good.
Howdy. So my goal for the day is to feed at least 5 to 10.
It's not bad. I'd like to lower it just a little bit more.
I've been thinking about this for a while, how privileged some of us are to be able to self-isolate while...
Sounds great. Now, if you hover over on your audio, I'm going to zoom in here so you can get a better look. If you hover over your audio sound, you'll see the line where you can obviously adjust the volume up and down here. But you'll also see this little button right here. Now, if you kind of have to zoom in sometimes to really get to it. When you hover over it, it says fade audio in. This little dot right here, once your mouse turns into the left and right arrows right above it, that means you are ready to select it. So you click and hold. You can drag over to the right here on the beginning of the audio and drag over to the left at the end of the audio to either fade in or fade out. So right now what I'm doing is I'm fading the audio in. The longer you fade the audio in, the lower the volume of the music will be up until the very end, where it will be at the regular volume that you've already set, not the maximum value of the actual audio itself. So I've moved it quite a bit here, a little bit too much, but let's take a listen so at least you'll get the idea.
Howdy. So my goal for the day is to feed at least 5 to 10 homeless people. I've been thinking about this for a while.
There you have it. Now, I like the sound the way it is. I don't think I need it to fade in. That's why I originally did not have it fade in. So let's take a listen at one more time.
Howdy.
Great. Howdy, y'all. All right, so I'm going to Shift Z again to see my entire project. And if you look at the end over here, I have a fade out. So let's take a listen at that. This may be a better example. Let's take a look. All right, and there you have it. That was a fade out. Now earlier I mentioned working with audio quite a bit on like equalization and things like that. Over here, if you take a listen at this portion of the video, you'll hear the radio play in the background, and the radio had quite a bit of bass in it. So I'm actually going to remove the equalization effect that I have. I have the treble boost activated, and I'm going to add it after, so that way you get to notice the difference. This is a key point into managing audio when maybe you have like multiple things going on in the background. Let's say you're recording someone talking, but there's a lot of people in the background, or there's a music playing in the background, or radio, or whatever. In this case, it's the radio. So let's take a listen. All right.
Here's some juice and some water.
You can hear her just fine, but I don't like the muffled sound of the radio in the background, so that's why I went over here, equalized, left the treble boost, and let's take a listen at the difference.
Here's some juice and some water.
Now, her shuffling around and some clicks may be a little bit too loud because it's a treble boost, but at least it lowered the bass a bit from the radio, and you can hear her slightly more clearly. All right, great. In this section right here, I have a separate type of audio file here. That's why it's in a different color. So in this section, we're going to talk about how you can find and add music for your videos. It's extremely important. You don't want to go and grab the first Taylor Swift song or the 50 Cent song that you love so much. So you don't want to go and put In the Club by 50 Cent on your video, because then YouTube is most likely going to shut it down for copyright infringement. So you have a few options. Number one, you can learn on how to play around with loops with Apple using GarageBand, which is for free, or Logic. Or if you're a pro, you can record your own video, your own music, and save it into an MP3 file, and you can add it right over here on Final Cut Pro. Or you can click right up here, and it will give you different options. Now I have Logic Pro X installed, and this is where I produce all of the sounds for my videos. These are the sounds that I've already worked on. And Marita making sandwiches, this is the sound right here that you were listening to so much. And these are some other sounds that I've made using Logic Pro X. Now I also have GarageBand here, so everything I've created using GarageBand would be here. Of course, I don't use GarageBand because Logic Pro is better. And if you have any downloaded music that you have rights to, then it will show right over here. No, having a subscription to music with Apple does not justify you using any of the music that is on iTunes. All right, so you have to make sure you have rights to it. The easiest and the free way to do it is for you to go to sound effects right here, and there are these things called jingles. Jingles are pretty much short, quick little songs already pre-made for you that you can use on your videos. And every sound here, and you have different sound effects, and we're going to talk about that next, that you can pretty much just use. All right. So when I'm, and that was Siri being a little annoying, guys. Don't mind her. So when I go over here and I go to sound effects and I'm looking for jingles only, which is like little quick short songs, I like to click on genre. So that way I can go to the section that says jingles only, and I can scroll through all the jingles right here. And lucky for me, it gives me the longest jingles first up until the shortest jingles at the very bottom. So let's just take a look. If you look at my project right here, I have the campfire sound playing. So let's just take a look at, take a listen at the campfire sound. All right, felt like it goes really well, especially since she started the video with Howdy. So let's take a listen at some other sounds, and maybe we can use a different sound in the video. So you can click on it, and when you select the sound you want to listen to, you can click the play button right next to it, or you can hit space on your keyboard. Oh, yes. All right, so that was that, whatever that was. And we have Lotus. Cool stuff. Let's listen to Havana over here. That made me want to dance. So let's remove this and let's add Havana to the project instead, and let's take a listen. Now, when you add a sound to your audio, obviously it adds a full amount. So you can see this Havana music right here is a little bit too long. So I go at the very end of it until I see my little trimming tool pops up. I click and I drag it, make it a little shorter. And I want it to snap right over here. And let's take a listen at Havana. Got a little carried away, guys. I kind of like the sound. So that was Havana, and I like to add a little fade in because it started a little bit too loud for me. So I would fade in about 3 seconds here. So when you're faded in, you have the how long your fade will last, and right now I have it for 3 seconds and 9 frames, 9.4 frames. So let's take a listen. And that was great. So at the very end, I like it to fade out also. So that way, because I have the Merita making sandwiches sound over here at the very end, I don't want it to like be a dramatic change. So I like it to fade out a lot slowly. So that way it's an easier transition. So let's just take a listen again. And it starts to fade. It's much lower and lower. And it starts with the transition. All right. Now, of course, I would want to shift that just a little bit. So I want the music to start right at the transition, not before the transition. So it kind of flows a little bit better, just like that. There you have it. This is how you find music to add to your video, how you adjust the volume, how you make sure you equalize your volume in your voiceovers, and you are able to pan your audio, fade in your audio. You should be an audio pro now when you're editing your videos in Final Cut Pro. With that said, thank you for watching the video, guys. Did I miss something? Maybe I did. Please let me know in the comments below. Also, drop a like.